I'd like to talk about the leading edge a little more. And it's my understanding that it's physical manifestations of what we can see. That's the leading edge of where we are now.
Well, we'd like to call the leading edge where all the juice is. And we'd like to call it that sweet spot between the realization of a desire and the full fruition of it. So we'd like to call all of that leading edge. It's where those thoughts are turning to things out here on the leading edge. In other words, when you think about it, just think about the idea of a vibration turning to a thought, turning to a dream, turning to a experience, turning to money in the bank, turning to a thing, whatever it is. So that evolution of that thought leads to what we want to call the leading edge. But even once the manifestations occur, there's more contrast that creates more leading edge. You're knowing what you do want and knowing what you don't want and launching rockets of desire, and then there's this gap because you've created this vibrational version that you're not up to speed with, but then you feel your way to it, and eventually you master it and you've closed the gap, and now for a moment everything comes together and the manifestation occurs. And along with that manifestation happens a whole new set of contrasting experiences, which you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you launch the rocket, there's a vortex, you close the gap, then the manifestation occurs, and along with it, a whole new set of contrasting experience. So the leading edge continues to become. But what we want to emphasize is that the leading edge of what man wants to call God, the leading edge of all that is non-physical, the leading edge of all who have been physical, who are now focused from non-physical perspective, the leading edge is right here with you, through you, right here. This is the leading edge. It just doesn't get any better than this. And oh, how good it is when you are in concert with all who know that out here. The expansion, the furthest most expansion.
Thank you.
Because as delicious as it is to receive an idea of a desire, how much more delicious is it to watch the universe congealing and offering never-ending unfolding paths for the complete attainment of it. It just gets better and better and better and better and better and better and better the more physically focused and manifested it becomes. Don't you agree?
The more momentum that's added to it?
The more momentum, but the more it fleshes out. Like the experience of love is a really nice emotion. It's a really nice experience. But then having someone that you are focused upon, that you are loving, is even more. In other words, the physical intertwining is even more. What we are wanting to accomplish here is an honoring of your thirst and quest for manifestations. But we want you to understand how it works so that it can be the progression that will lead to what you're wanting. And all of that is what we are calling the leading edge.
I love the previous conversation about being number one. I was pondering in the days before this, what am I going to ask? And then I thought, well, I really don't have any idea what the leading edge is going to be when I get my butt in the seat.
Yeah.
And I wondered if we as a group perhaps were to collectively take a moment to breathe or focus, would the leading edge expand further so that the questions may change in vibrational calibration, or your vocabulary might even change so that we can comprehend?
Yes. It's what happens every single time. What you've just described is exactly what these gatherings are all about. Because you come with all your physicality and all of the things about your life experience that are important to you, all active and pulsing within you, and each of you comes with your own inner being. So there is a gathering of energy and desires and beliefs here that is the most premier format for conscious deliberate creating on the planet today, or that has ever been on the planet. This is the leading edge, like nothing else has ever been. Yeah.
And the collection of the minds in this room, whether or not somebody's listening to me right now or they're looking around the room, does it affect or alter the potency of the answer delivered in terms of the ability of the crowd to comprehend and hear?
Yes, in this sense. because each adds their individual impetus to the question, their individual nuances, their individual experiences, even their individual beliefs become part of it. In other words, there's a vibrational mix that is going on here. But you see, this is the way it always is. This room is like a microcosm of what's happening with your entire planet, let's say. And so here you are all mixing it up together, here more in harmony than in most environments, and here more expectant of receiving than in most environments, and here more in the receptive mode than in most environments. But here you all are, and Esther is standing as a representative of someone who is in the receptive mode. She can walk to the podium anytime, no matter what's going on. The conditions don't matter, and she can unconditionally come into vibrational alignment with us. And you all have the potential of doing that as well. Many of you are already doing that. And so as we come together in a gathering like this, and what you want to know about and what you want to talk about and how life's been touching you and the decisions that you've made and the beliefs that you've come to, they are all part of the platform that is known by non-physical. And so as non-physical, as this non-physical source energy that we are, we know where each of you are in relationship with everything that you want. And so we know precisely who is the one that is most likely to bring what is most wanted by the most out into the light, where we can have a discussion about it. Even this conversation is about that. This is co-creating at its best, you see. And what we are really wanting you to understand is that even with all of these words that we are offering, which seems to defy what we are about to say, we are all talking and thinking too much about the specifics of trying to get things done. And for your part, not enough about just getting into the receptive mode, where the natural consequence of all that has come before and all that you're asking will follow. It just doesn't have to be so hard. You don't have to think. You just want to be in a vibrational place where you can receive a thought. It's the receptive mode. Here's the new thought that we are really wanting you to receive. This is new unto this moment. So for some time, maybe even the first week that Esther was allowing us to flow through her, we made a powerful statement that, as every statement that we make remains true, we just are able to flesh it out in more detail as more of you are understanding more of the basis. But we made the statement, if you want something and believe it, then it is. Because when you desire it and you are not holding active beliefs that contradict it, then in that alignment, the natural progression of it to its full fruition must be quickly. So when you desire it and you believe it, it is. When we talked about your desire and your belief, you were wanting to present your desires like goals. Sort of like our friend, his mind was almost blank. He couldn't even find where he wanted to jump in just now. And it's because he's in the receptive mode. And when you're in the receptive mode, you're listening for something. You're not projecting. And that's really what the art of allowing represents. You want to be in the receptive mode where you can receive the idea of your own desire. Now feel for a moment how strange that feels. I'm going to listen for my desire. Sounds sort of weird, doesn't it? Because shouldn't I know what my desire is, and shouldn't I project what my desire is, and shouldn't I set goals about my desire? Shouldn't I be measuring how I'm doing relative to my desires? Shouldn't I be projecting my desire? Shouldn't I be making my desire happen? And we say, this is the part that we really want you to hear, and you've been listening to us long enough that you're going to hear it right now. You were doing all of that in step one. In other words, all of that you've been living, all the contrast that you've been living has caused you to ask for that and 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 that. You've been asking for things before you even got into this physical body and since the beginning of being in this physical body, and you put so many components of asking into this vortex that it is known, it is so known by all that is what you are asking for, who you have now become. You have been asking and becoming. The question is, are you in a place now of allowing yourself to be what you've been asking for? So that's why we've been talking about step 1 and step 2 and step 3. It's why we began talking about the vortex, so that you can understand that there is a version of you that is already congealed, that is already pulsing, that is ready to be realized by you. So maybe now for the first time, you're ready to actually understand that you're going to be the receiver of that desire. Oh, you created it. You created it incrementally. You set those little goals, 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 little goals. Gonna take a while. Little goals, little goals, little goals, little goals. You set them, you put them there, but law of attraction has been having its way with them, and your inner being has been having its way with them, and a part of you has been in the process of becoming, and you are now ready to receive if you'll stop thinking so hard and stop working so hard and stop trying so hard and stop talking so much. To stop acting so much and responding so much, if you'll chill, if you'll meditate, if you'll get a massage, if you'll take a long shower, if you'll take a walk in the park, if you'll sit on the beach, if you'll allow yourself, if you will accept your goodness and your rightness and your worthiness and stop trying so hard to prove and defend and rationalize and justify, if you'll just let yourself be just for a little while, what you've already become will begin to occur to you. And when it occurs in the form of an idea, and you know how those ideas feel? Don't those ideas feel good? When that idea comes to you, doesn't it feel good? Don't you like that freshness? Oh, that's what I want. That's what I want. That fresh, wonderful feeling of that idea that you've received. And now you're off and running. And if you can just accept that now you're wanting to follow the inspiration, then you can live in the sweet spot the majority of the time. A little contrast. Put some more stuff in there. Law of attraction mixes it all up. You get in the receiving mode, and off you go. It's not hands-on enough for a lot of you. Yeah, Abraham, I get that, but what should I do? What should I do about more money? Go to the beach. No, you didn't understand my question. What should I do? I don't have enough money. I can't pay my bills. They're going to take my car away from me if I don't figure out something fast. What should I do? Take a nap. Now, Abraham, clearly you're not understanding. I've got to do something. I've got to make this happen. If I don't dig in here and make something happen, bad things are going to happen to me. Sleep more. Rest more. Be nicer to yourself. Look for more things that feel good. Do anything and everything that you can do to get into the receptive mode, because your inner being knows where you are. Your inner being will guide you over and under and around and through any resistance that's between you and the full fruition of what you want. Don't you know those things that have come easily? Think about the things that have come to you easily. Or the thing. Think about that one thing. Or think about the things that have come to you easily. And then just ask yourself the question, was it something that I wanted to do or something that somebody else wanted me to do? Is it something that I wanted to do or something that I needed to do? And what you will show yourself is that that was you hatching a desire, being in the receptive mode. And once it got that far, it was natural for it to follow all the way out. But what we are sort of pleading with you to do is to somehow get yourself into that position where you can receive that idea. And we know for sure that you have received enough from us today and before, that once that desire occurs to you, knowing what you now know as a result of this discussion, you'll be off and running. There is literally nothing that you can desire that will not come to full fruition. The question is, have you received the desire? Have you received the desire? Did it come out of your vortex? Now, this is a new conversation. You ready for it? Did the desire? Did the desire? This is exactly what you've been talking about here. Did the desire? Did this desire that is now active within you, did it come out of your vortex? Which means, did it come out of what law of attraction and your inner being has got all mixed up for you, all queued up for you? Is it that perfect desire and you are now in such a receptive mode that you received it, and so it's a slam dunk, it's a sure thing, it's going to go really quickly for you and it's going to be so pleasurable as it unfolds? Or did this desire come out of need? Did you feel the difference? Did it come out of need? Did it come out of somebody else's warning? Did it come out of a threat? If I don't do this, that something bad's going to happen. Or did I receive it from my vortex? This is a differentiation that you just gotta love. Did I receive it from my vortex? Was I in the receiving mode? Did I receive it from my vortex? Because if it's that kind of desire that you received from your vortex, then it's already a thought turning to a thing. It's already a sure thing. You're already on the path. It's already going to bring you such pleasure. It's already the sweet spot. It's already you fulfilling your reason for being. It's already you mastering your creation. That's what it is.
Ready for the trip, we live on televised. Lucky what Henny on